most addicts, there's a great deal of like shame and pain, and then you don't want to get out of it because, you know, you hate yourself.
$2,000 a weekend on cocaine, heroin and ketamine. At the height of the Strokes' success, that is how much guitarist Albert Hammond Jr. was spending. And then in 2010, he hit a turning point. But getting clean wasn't just about substances. It was also about tackling a trauma that stretched right back before birth. His latest solo album, Francis Trouble, is named after the twin brother he never met. Francis died in the womb before they were born, and now they're finding their way back to each other.
Nothing lasts forever.
So my mom was pregnant and lost one of them at 5 months. And they told her she wasn't pregnant anymore, even though she still felt that I was in there.
Wait, so they told her that you weren't in there?
Yeah, no, she was like, you're not pregnant, you lost the baby.
Oh, wow.
She's like, okay. And then 2 weeks later, she went back because she wasn't feeling right, and they said, no, you are pregnant. So it was like a weird time. These are stories that I'm hearing. Weird time for her. And then when I was born, I was like, because I guess you're so squished, I had parts of the placenta and a fingernail, so it just seemed, I was like, wow, that story and that alter ego changed me.
One day soon, you'll have to leave me.
You know, I remember early on, I think I was just blindly ambitious. I was gonna make it no matter what. It was very strange. I look back and I was like, wow, how the hell did I think like that? I don't think like that at all now.
What changed? Why don't you think with that level of ambition anymore?
Maybe because I don't know, I mean, I'm just thinking about this now. Maybe because I don't think you are what you do. Maybe when I was younger, I was just like 100%. That was all I was thinking about. And it's just like, it's too much, because then you live and die by where that goes. And that's, intrinsically, you're worth more than that.
It's really,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's really bad to peg your self-esteem on something where you have little control.
I know, but weirdly enough, when you start out, you have to believe it that strongly. If not, how would you believe that you could do it?
Yeah.
I've never written a song and be like, oh yeah, cool, I think I'll be able to do this.
So where did you get that self-belief from in those early days?
I have no idea.
Do you ever feel defined by pre-2010 Albert? Or do you feel like that person's gone?
I mean, it's gone, but still elements pop up. It's nothing's ever, you know. I think that's important to know, is no line of growth does not have like downward spots.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not a straight line.
For some reason, people always expect it to be like this perfect change.
Recovery, rehabilitation, what is it that people get wrong?
Ooh, you need recovery from time. There's a part of you that when you first get out, you feel very isolated, because like the world's happening. Like for a while, I just felt like I was standing by a river, and the river was the world and everyone's going down, and I was just like, why can't I get in? I couldn't get in.
Is this during or after the fact, as you sort of made a decision?
After, just the first 2 years, it's just like, you're like, you know, you don't really know what you're doing. You have no...
And the world's passing you by?
Yeah, you have no momentum in... I was just lucky that I saw two roads very distinctly going somewhere different. I think most addicts spend their whole time trying to have those two roads exist together.
That's
interesting. You're like, I will find a way where I can do both. And that's basically your entire existence, is trying to find a way to exist in both lines.
Right.
And then you just get further and further and further and further away, and it depends on when you actually see how far. Some people have to wait till they're like, you know, that one's not even there anymore, and they're like, I can still pull it off. Or like, you know, I think when it gets too far, there's a great deal of like shame and pain, and then you don't want to get out of it because, you know, you hate yourself. Yeah. You hate yourself so much that you'd rather not get well.
The album is dedicated to a gentleman that you worked with who passed away in 2016.
Yeah, Andrew Park. Yeah, he was my therapist, but a father figure to me. He was the Obi-Wan that passes away, and you couldn't really slay your dragon. I'm totally mixing all these stories.
No, no. Oh, no, what you're doing is you're crafting a really good one.
Luke didn't slay any dragons, Albert.
But then he pulled Excalibur out, and it was a really great twist that no one saw coming.
Yeah, exactly. So I dedicated it to him because he was just like having a father in the second part of your life.
Yeah. There's an aspect of your work with him that I've heard you talk about. It's a concept called shadow work. Yeah. For somebody that's never heard of it before, how do you go about describing shadow work?
Yeah. I visualize what my shadow would be, which is this whole side of you that grows up unnurtured.
Yeah.
And so I pictured it as a child who just wanted attention. And so I basically tried to give it attention, and so you fill that up, and that person who's on stage is the shadow that got let out, and so that's kind of gets relived every night.
What part of your job frightens you the most? Is it performing in front of people? Is it that act of creation?
The part that I can't control, which is how it does. I think for so long, my 20s, you just think it's like a dress rehearsal for when life is really gonna happen. Like, you know, like I'm just doing this and then I'm gonna live life. There's always this picture in your head of where you, when you get there, it'll be right. But the pictures in your head never have the shit, the turds that life has.
So then you outside the frame.
Yes, so when you get to that photo, it's never what you thought it was.
When did you first work that out? When did you first realize that you were aiming for something that was incomplete?
Oh. It was a slow process of understanding what people always say, like, oh, enjoy the journey and not the destination. And you're just like, what? Fuck you. And then you kind of like, my favorite part is actually all that crap that happens in the middle.
Albert, going on a word journey with you is really, really fun. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.